Nino Brown Boxing. I'm back with another video. So I just recorded the video, but I was like, man, it's too long. My channel is way too new, and I don't get nowhere enough views that be posting a 16-minute video right now. So I decided, I'm gonna redo it and I'm gonna cut this shit short. So this video, I want to talk about the passion, the dedication, and the hard work in the current state of boxing, and how I'm extremely disappointed with a lot of the guys that are under 30. Now, before I get to the guys that are 29 and under, I just want to say some of the disappointment definitely runs over to people over 30, but not so much, for the simple fact a lot of those guys have been in the sport. They're getting old. At any moment in time, their body can start breaking down due to old age, and they have a life after boxing that they really need to start to consider at that point in time in their life. When you hit your mid-30s, you're pushing 40, in most cases, you're not about to fight for another 10, 12, 13 more years. So with that being said, those guys tend to look for the money fights. They tend to focus more on business. They're not really concerned about legacy, because if you're almost 40 or you're 5 years away from 40, if your legacy hasn't been established yet, you can just forget about it. Unless you're with Nino Hopkins. But that's just some freaking nature type shit. So going to the guys that are like 29 and under, guys like Keith Thurman, guys like Adrian Barner, guys like Javante Tank Davis, Danny Garcia, guys like that, guys like Anthony Joshua. Like, I see a lot of potential in these fighters, and I definitely respect them as fighters. But even though they're all different in their own ways, they definitely have a lot of flaws. So I'm going to start with Anthony Joshua. I don't think his case is as bad as the other guys, but he's definitely on there. And I say that because Anthony Joshua, he's a young fighter. I think he's like 28, 29. I know he's down. I know he's close to my age. He's not over a year older than me. But the way AJ is being pushed, he's being pushed to be a cash cow, to be this big draw. Now, that's all fine, but the hypocrisy behind it all is what really bothers me. And it tells me it's either A, he's just following suit with his promoter, and he really doesn't think on his own, or he just trusts his promoter 100%, or B, he really doesn't care about legacy, and he doesn't care about all of the other stuff that comes along with going down in history. And I say this because Anthony Joshua fans, his team, and himself have said some very questionable things, and they've done some very questionable things, in my opinion. The whole Deontay Wilder situation, I've expressed in previous videos, like, it's very frustrating to me, and I think it's complete bullshit, especially when you have Anthony Joshua supporters or promoters, like, they're trying to pick apart Deontay Wilder's resume. Now, I'll never come out, at this point in Deontay Wilder's career, I'll never come out and say Wilder has a great resume, because he doesn't. In my opinion, he doesn't have a good resume. It's slightly below average or average. Nothing spectacular. I agree when people say it. But I can say the same damn thing about Anthony Joshua. The best name on Anthony Joshua's resume is Klitschko. A 40-plus year old coming off a year-plus layoff and a loss. And if that was anyone else, I can't say anyone else. If that was certain fighters like Dante from Dante Boxing Nation, like to call it, shout out to Dante. If that was any of the fighters from the quote-unquote coincidental list doing some shit like that, they would not get the type of respect and notoriety that Anthony Joshua has received. Like, you beat Charles Martin for a vacant title. Well, no, it wasn't vacant. Charles Martin fought for the vacant title, but you beat Charles Martin, someone that's definitely a paper champ, someone that shouldn't even have been in that fight for the IBF title. But that's neither here nor there. You beat Charles Martin. You have a couple of title defenses against some low-level guys, and then you fight Klitschko. Like, Klitschko's situation, if you would have taken that, matter of fact, if that would have been Andre Ward, let's say Andre Ward would have moved to 175, and let's just say heavyweight's boogeyman right now is Deontay Wilder. And Andre Ward at the time, the boogeyman, when he moved to 175, it was Sergey Kovalev. Let's say Andre Ward, he moved up to 175. Now, you still have to consider all of Andre Ward's previous accomplishments in his career. Like, I'm not taking that off the table. If Andre Ward would have moved to 175 and he fought some bum that's comparable to a 175-pound Charles Martin. I'm not going to name drop and name any other light heavyweights because I don't want to be disrespectful to them. But Charles Martin is a bum. So if you have a 175-pound version of Charles Martin and he fought Andre Ward, and then Andre Ward, let's say he fought Bernard Hopkins. I think that's a respectable comparison, Bernard Hopkins to Klitschko. If Ward fought, let's say Bernard Hopkins never fought Klitschko, and Ward fought Bernard Hopkins, coming off of a year-plus layoff and a loss, would Andre Ward have gotten the amount of credit that Anthony Joshua is getting? Absolutely not. We all know Klitschko is a legend, just like Bernard Hopkins is a legend. And if Ward would have beat Hop in this hypothetical situation, we all know that Andre Ward wouldn't get the credit. So moving forward, my point is about the whole Anthony Joshua thing is let's be realistic and let's eliminate the hype. Like, I understand what the hype brings, but like, come on, man, let's just be men about it. And we all know all of the hype that's being surrounded with Anthony Joshua's name is not even deserved. Moving forward, Adrian Broner. After Adrian Broner's last fight, I was done with him. When he lost to Mikey Garcia, I was done. With me, he was hanging on by a thread. You know, I watched 78 Sports TV. Shout out to 78 when he told me, well, he told, you know, his viewers in the video he was done with AB. He had to show him something. I was one of those guys, like, you know what? I'm going to ride with AB one more time. You know, even if he loses this fight, if he loses in respectable fashion, I'll definitely be able to ride with AB. But he lost the fight. He disappointed. But it's not that AB just loses in the ring and he has some subpar performances. It's also the out of the ring stuff. You know, the getting in trouble constantly, always being sued, like always in the news for some negative bullshit. But then on top of that, he gets fat. Like, he gets fat between fights. So you lose to smaller guys because that was always your excuse. You know, you're undefeated at 140. You lose to a smaller guy. The majority of his career was under 140 pounds. You get in trouble, you get arrested, and then you get fat. Like, dude, you don't even have the hard work, the dedication, and the passion and the respect for yourself to stay in shape. Like, you're not a heavyweight. You're fighting from 140 to 147 pounds. You should be able to maintain abs all year round when you're that small. Like, I don't care if you get up to 160. You should be able to maintain some type of abs all year round. Like, I've seen AB cut down trying to make 140 and he doesn't even have, his abs aren't even where it's supposed to be. And that's not saying like, oh, the aesthetics matter as a boxer. But when you're that small, and I've seen AB at the smaller divisions at the 135 when he's been sliced up, when he was putting that hard work in. So I know he can do it. But when you're that small, if you're working hard and you're eating like you're supposed to, you're going to be ripped up. Like, I weigh 185 pounds and I can maintain abs all year round. Like, I maintain a percentage of my ab definition even if I'm bulking and I get up to 195. Like, I'm not a big guy at all. So moving forward, here you got guys like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, to me, I may be some type of conspiracy theorist, but these injuries with Keith Thurman, they're absolutely ridiculous. They're getting to the point where they're becoming predictable. Like, I'm going to even make this bold statement on this video and say, I have a feeling after Keith Thurman has his comeback fight, within 2 fights, he will be injured again. Mark my word. Take a screenshot of this portion of the video and save that shit. And remind me if I get this prediction right. Keith Thurman, he's ducking and dodging Earl Spence. He says little nursery rhymes like, I got a O, and I'm not afraid to let it go, and if you can beat me, and all of that crazy shit. Like, that all sounds great. And that was a great statement to make if you mean what you say. But Thurman told Spence to get him a title, then he'll fight. Now, Spence has a title, and Thurman can't even look this man in his eye and say, Spence, let me get a tune-up fight coming back to test my shoulder. Let me get another fight after that so I can knock out one of my mandatories, and then I'll fight you. He can just let Spence know, like, I respect you as a fighter. In my opinion, Spence, you're the second best welterweight in this division to me. And I believe coming off of this injury, I need a tune-up, I need a respectable opponent, and then I'll be ready for you. But no, Thurman can't be that transparent. Then you have guys like Gervonta Davis. Young guys that's been put in a golden position that I know guys that are in gyms across this country that are better fighters than him, they would love to be put in this position. They would take full advantage of it. They would make weight. They wouldn't get in trouble. Like, there are guys out here that I know they're a lot more marketable than Gervonta. But the fact that he's attached to Floyd, AB vouched for him. He's on the path to destruction. He need to get his shit together. And me, like, I'm from DC. I don't live far from Baltimore at all. Like, Baltimore, come on, man. Like, I understand, you rep your home, you love your city. Like, I get it. But when you encounter problem after problem and all this drama and bullshit, and I know a lot of it has to do with his reckless behavior, but a lot of it also has to do with the people that he surrounds himself with. When you keep encountering all of these problems, like, you got to make a change. It's time for you to make a change, Tank. Move out of Baltimore, maybe come back in like 5 years or so. But right now, like, time to get out. I wish these guys put some more hard work, some more dedication, a lot more passion into their craft. Focus more so on legacy. Because guys like Danny Garcia, in my opinion, he can give 2 shits about legacy. He really doesn't care. This guy is extremely delusional. The fact that he even tried to, made a statement after the Keith Thurman fight saying that, he won and it was a robbery or all of that shit. Like, the fact that you're trying to even dispute that loss, like, you're a clown in my eyes. Like, you're definitely a clown. But the sport needs a lot more passion. They need a lot more dedication. They need to put in a lot more hard work. Hopefully the change comes soon. This is Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm out.